Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from My Parents' Basement, a podcast where we get a group of nerds together and record ourselves being idiots and generally bickering with each other. Today we'll be playing our first session of Pokemon Tabletop United, a homebrew RPG that started as a spin-off of an RPG called Pokemon Tabletop Adventures, first created by DM Mr. Stark in 2010. I will now hand it over to our GM so we can start the game.
So I'd first like everybody to go around, introduce themselves, their character, and their backstory, just so the folks at home can get a full understanding of who you are.
We will open this with the guy with the shortest segment, so I require the least summarization. I am Erin. My twin brother is sitting right across from me, but he comes later. My character is Nathan Sawyer, and he is something of a woodsman. Born in Unova, to his family, father who was a former trainer, and his mother was a local guy, but things turned loose. I'm okay.
We're having issues with sound quality. He will begin again.
Oh.
No, we were still picking him up.
You should be a little
Well,
louder.
it just need to be a little louder.
Clarification: his sound
The
quality.
beginning of the idiots. Beginning of the idiocy.
Bicker.
Anyhow. My character grew up in Unova to a father who's a retired trainer and a mother who was a local guide. Relatively sedate lifestyle until his father died in a landslide. Things got harder. His mother eventually grew ill from overwork and passed away. And I went to live with my uncle in this present region, which doesn't actually have a name yet or hasn't been informed yet. I worked there at a ski lodge / hot springs, and eventually did a job for the Gigas Corporation, our present employers. And as basically just helping them along, being a local guy. After the contract came up, I helped bring a gravely ill Pokemon to them, and they agreed to aid the Pokemon. And in order to pay off the debt that I have accumulated as such, I have now joined the Gigas Corporation.
You just have to butcher every name, don't you?
Yep.
Unova region, there is an N there, and Gigas. Not Gigas.
The correction has begun.
Gigas. Gigas.
Gigas is like
Gigas.
Gigas is even from Earthbound.
No, that's
Gigas is big.
Gigas.
The next up,
Gynecologist.
Next up, the literal ninja.
Okay, I am Korovin, so Environment mentions. Yeah, okay, that's out of the way. I'm going to play a ninja character who is also a chef, just because I want a less overt and offensive class.
One might
Possible?
say you're an Iron Chef.
Possibly. That's up to them. I don't particularly care. Okay. He's the first son of his family. He has a younger sister and a younger brother, neither of which he is sure he is entirely related due to some issues between his father and his mother. He was left on his father's doorstep by his mother after a short engagement that she broke off and disappeared. Years later, they reconnected, tried again for a short relationship, and she again disappeared, this time leaving his daughter at the doorstep. And then a few years later, a younger son was left despite neither of them having met. So we are fairly sure that he's not directly related, but he's their responsibility nonetheless. As the de facto man of the household, he has been in large parts caring for his family and taking care of them as they age and as they grow to maturity. And he has also been taught in the way of the ninja by his grandfather, as the clan they belong to used to be a subsidiary of a larger ninja clan, but has since at one point fallen out of favor, and with the decline of ninjas as a peacekeeping force and any kind of military presence, many of the arts have been lost. But despite this, his grandfather demands that he follow up in the tradition despite his own wishes, and after a number of arguments, he has been forced to leave the household to learn more of the way of the ninja and to expand his arts rather than try to care for his family. And during this year, he has sought out the Gigas Corporation and stopped employment, as they are the closest he is likely to find to a ninja clan.
Seems like there's a lot of family now.
I was about to say, I forgot how many family problems pop up whenever doing character backstories.
When I get to make a TV show about family matters.
Okay, I have to laugh because in the Scion game we're playing, all of our characters are the children of gods, right? And there's no children of goddesses, so it is Team Daddy issues.
Always my
like a
Other
bus
reference I
full of
was making.
strippers.
And now he gets to get his back.
Hold on. How have none of you guys actually heard of the TV show Family Matters?
I've heard of it. I never saw it.
I haven't either.
No
You
one
still got
gets
my
the
reference.
references.
It's my turn to burp in the mic.
Oh god.
Hey, I did it when the mic was off.
The mic was on.
Yes, but we weren't recording.
It recorded that. It's just
Recorded.
that's why I added the 3 seconds of silence.
Great.
But we cut that.
Anyways, the character I'm running is named Nestor Reynolds. He is a channeler, meaning that he is able to have a mystic connection with Pokemon that allows him to share emotions and thoughts with them, and in some cases even see through the eyes of the Pokemon. From a young age, though, he was aware of this connection, and because of it, he knew all his life that he definitely wanted to do something with Pokemon. He always found it a lot easier to communicate with Pokemon, especially since when he is channeling with a Pokemon, he cannot lie to the Pokemon and they can't lie to him. So he ended up working in contest circuits, doing like volunteer and grooming stuff in Pokemon contests, until one day a contest was attacked where there were some rare, oh god, what region? There's 6 regions. Give me a break. Johto.
Johto region.
Yes.
I was like, I asked you about the one in your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there were some Johto Pokemon, which was uncommon because he happened to be in Kanto at the time. And there were some rare Johto Pokemon, so they were attacked. The contest was attacked by Team Rocket, and Nestor tried all he could to get Pokemon and people away from the scene before the authorities arrived. However, when he was channeling to other Pokemon and trying to get them away, he had realized that, you know, some of these Pokemon actually wanted to fight. They wanted to stand up and they wanted to, you know, protect those that they cared about in the same way he did. So a couple of the Pokemon, a Growlithe and a Totodile, whose original trainers unfortunately had not made it safely or alive.
Oh, that seems very convenient for you.
Yeah, out of the contest, he managed to adopt them and made them his own Pokemon. He after which he tried to join one of the local police forces. However, they would not take him due to his psychic powers, as legally that kind of runs into some weird issues of privacy that they did not want to be responsible for, which led him to join the Gigas.
Gigas.
We'll get it right. I actually didn't. I didn't play. I didn't play a game. I did actually play the game where Regigigas was a Pokemon.
Most people never got him.
Yeah.
I know why? Because in order to get him, you had to get from your Sapphire or Ruby version. You had to get the Regirock, Registeel, Regice brought over to that game. They had to have him in your party to go wake him up.
Yeah. So he ended up working for the Gigas Corporation because they were willing to let him do what he wanted to do despite his psychic powers. I believe it is our last player's turn.
Great. So I'm Marcus. I will be playing the young man known as Eru Auscher. He was born outside of the normal regions in a place called the Chibu region in a city called Iris. When he was younger, he I just got a break for it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
We don't have scripts, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So he was born to a Pokemon researcher named Wayne and a Pokemon breeder and contest enthusiast named Elizabeth. Wayne wanted his son to become a research and strategy trainer, while his mother wanted him to become more of a contest aficionado.
Lame.
His mother got a hold of him first, so No.
So wait, she didn't even want you in the contest. She just wanted you being around the contests.
As a heads up to you,
Yes and
as a heads up to listeners, there is a system. There is a way in the system to do Pokemon contests, and we're completely ignoring it because it is basically a second rule system.
We might do it if you guys want us to do it, but it will be probably like a special episode one time thing. We have no intentions of doing it continually because of how difficult it is to try and do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, he spent 7 years of his life doing contests, with his mother Cincino, and then after that, he basically spoke up and said that he didn't want to do that anymore.
And you mispronounced the name again. Shino. It's the Shino region.
Is it?
Yes.
There's no ancient.
No,
So,
not Sinnoh. Cincino,
Oh,
the Pokemon.
You said in. I
No,
got very
his mother Cincino.
Okay, I got very
Or
confused.
Cincino. Something.
The evolution of Mycino, whatever the fuck that thing is. I think that's a feather duster.
Yeah.
It is
A
called
rat
the
with
feather. It's called the feather duster Pokemon.
Is it?
It's a maid. Literally, it's in its description.
Lovely.
Well, well, looks like that maid got made in a Pokemon contest.
So he went on to become a researcher. He stopped doing contests with his mom's Pokemon, and he eventually found a little Pokemon known as a Whismur that he was able to ignore its screams and start caring for it.
Yes, its screams that will literally, pop your eardrums and kill you.
Pretty much.
No, but it's more of the Pokedex entries of how.
I know.
Like,
Jet engine.
God,
They made it very
Pokemon
clear.
are scary.
seriously, but the Pokemon anime is so different from like the Pokemon games. With just the Pokedex entries alone. Erin, Eron, the Pokemon, flips over garbage trucks and eats them. Whismur, screams louder than a jet engine. What else? Just Drifloon kidnaps and murders children.
Was it Magmar that's like hotter than the sun?
Something like that.
Blastoise shoots its cannons at higher than a regular PSI water cutter.
Yes. His
Game
things
theory.
are literally like, they're almost a foot in diameter wide,
Yeah.
and they shoot stronger than a water cutter. So they literally puncture holes through buildings.
Like Hypno steals children.
Yes, Hypno steals children in the night. So does Drifloon, but they do different things. What is it?
Creepy.
Is it Beautifly? Yeah, Beautifly straight up drinks the blood of its enemies.
Cubone is born wearing the skull of his mother.
It's dead mother. Yes, and Kangaskhan Khan is born
Well,
pregnant.
I hope I will be able to give my mother's death. And now her skull is attached to me forever.
It's fused to my head. Yes.
Anyways,
Continue.
continue.
I forgot where I was.
You got Whismur.
Oh yeah.
A beat. That's all, folks.
That's everything I'm recording.
Yeah.
Basically, he got he started raising the Whismur. It took a liking to him. He took a liking to it, and after his mom's Cincino finally passed away when he was 15, he met one of his mom's friends who was a type ace. From that point on, he learned about certain trainers, and he began to
Just continue.
Am I taking too long?
No. It's not nothing that you're doing.
She they basically started teaching each other about different types of Pokemon, and Eru decided to start his own adventure outside of his hometown and eventually out of his own region. Age 18, he finally boarded the Unity in Far City to visit other continents, regions, etc. And during that time, he caught a Puchiena that was very violent, to say the least. And by age 20, he finally reached a new region that he was unable to find a job in, where he realized he had not much Poke left. So started searching for a job.
Is that what the money's actually called? Poke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever. I call it Poke.
It combined the symbol for yen, instead of a Y, it's a P.
Okay.
So,
Really fun to draw.
Might as well just call it Zenny at this point.
no, we're not DBZ.
Mega Man.
Also,
Yeah, they use any.
I know.
And how do you spell it? With I or Y?
I think in Mega Man they spell with an I.
Yeah, in DBZ they spell it with a Y.
Okay.
That's why I asked. There's a difference.
Did they use 2 N's or 1?
Z-E-N-N-Y. Z-E-N-N-I.
No, it should be Z-N-I.
No, but in Mega Man it's spelled Z-E-N-N-I.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're nerds. We know these differences.
Basically that's it. He found some temporary secretary jobs, but he eventually quit and found the Gigas Corporation.
You got it right.
I've been saying it right the entire time.
and now the internet knows I wasn't kidding when I said my backstory was the shortest.
No,
Why?
he kept interrupting his. And Korovins. And Ivan's. Just with random facts.
That's all I have.
Alright,
It's as concise as I can make it without going insane.
well, why don't you give a brief description of the campaign itself?
The campaign itself is are we releasing the character building one?
Yeah, we'll release it eventually.
Okay, you'll hear in that we were kind of going with maybe a Team Rocket campaign. We decided it's not really what we want to do, so we're going with kind of a mercenary corporation where they'll be doing, jobs. They'll be sent around to different regions, different locations. All depends on how they're going to play. The first question we ask all of you: do you want a liaison between you and the corporation, or would you prefer direct contact?
Liaison, probably. Because if we don't have one of us has to do the paperwork. And guess who that's probably going to be? This kid.
I've had secretary jobs.
So, liaison is just had to make sure that the question I hadn't gone over yet was a thing I was running through my head.
I have done government paperwork. No.
No,
Please,
no more
no.
government paperwork. Okay. So, they're going to be a mercenary corporation with, as you can hear, each of the characters has their own kind of reason for joining up and reason for things. The mercenary corporation isn't necessarily a good corporation. They're mercenaries. Whoever pays the highest they work for. And since this is going to be kind of a, recruits just getting their first job kind of stuff, it's going to be a lot of, low tier things and, things will build up slowly as it goes. That's basically the quick rundown of the whole campaign.
Yeah, that being said, this is not going to be a campaign that's going to be about, catching all the Pokemon and beating gym leaders. It's going to be something different, taking a view at a part of the Pokemon universe we don't see in the TV show or read about in the manga or the video games.
Like, the stuff that's only barely referenced in the games. How they mentioned the Pokemon War way back when.
Yeah.
They never really bring it up again.
Any world.
If I can get the... We are in a very cramped room.
Yeah, we're in a small room in a parent's basement. Ceiling tile.
Yeah, we are actually in my parents' basement. That is no joke.
Yay!
That's all ready to go over, right?
Yeah, I believe we can get started.
Okay. So I guess you guys need that first kind of introduction to the area. So you guys have been here maybe each a couple months. you kind of, got through the recruitment process, and, we've been kind of put in, like, small little bunkhouses. I mean, they're not as bad as the militaries are.
They're not military bad, but they're still bad.
They're still kind of low grade. You're grunts. They don't think you're going to be around here very long. Because you're free to come and go as you please.
Well, remember
they're a company. They're not the military.
Remember, the Air Force. The Air Force gets paid extra if they have to be bunked in Army housing because it's considered inadequate to Air Force standards.
Yes. Actually, we knew that one. Yeah. My brother was in the Air Force, and then he worked for the NSA. And he worked for several other places. Needless to say, some stuff.
Oh, the Air Force.
But pretty comfortable beds. They're not cots. Bunk beds. There's lots of housing kind of stuff. And, there's kind of a place where you go eat. So,
a mess hall.
The mess hall. Yes, the cafeteria in it. Yes. There's kind of places, where like general training equipment, so you can go exercise, do stuff, work with your Pokemon, which you haven't seen them very, very much recently. You kind of came in, and they kind of just go, gonna have to give them up. Time being, safety precautions and whatnot. You'll get them after you kind of graduate from in training to grunt status.
Have to make sure they have their shots.
You have to make sure that you don't go decide, oh, I'm going to try burning down the facility because I'm angry. Reasons.
I don't need a Pokemon for that. I mean, what?
Says the man with the Growlithe.
The man who may or may not have been involved in...
Who may or may not have been involved in a terrorist corporation to procure himself some two very good Pokemon.
Out of the goodness of my heart, I adopted 2 Pokemon who were...
Okay, a Growlithe is not a rare, but the Totodile is suspicious.
Growlithe is technically considered a pseudo-legendary by certain standards, but I don't really consider that, considering its stat line isn't that great. So I was like,
a lot of considerations.
Also, Totodiles and such not their starters also somewhat considered rare.
Well, all the starters are considered rare.
Yes, but the reason why you got to keep that Growlithe because of those reasons.
Especially considering he's a Kanto boy.
Kanto.
We don't like you Johto kind here.
Well,
racism.
Because what is it? The Silver League is in the Johto region, which is interesting. The
Silver.
they share a building, literally, and so they live right on the border. So yes, having a Totodile isn't that unheard of, considering if you go from, I want to say, what is it? I think it's like left of Pallet Town or Viridian City. There's a waterway between,
What region are we in right now?
We're in Sabalu.
This is gonna be a placeholder name, so I can come up with a better one. And the Gigas Corporation might also be a placeholder name. I think it's good, but I'll hold off from calling it officially. But we're in the Kansai region.
Kansai?
Yay!
Region.
How do you spell that?
Kansai.
Yes.
Just like Japan.
It's a Japanese word. I figured it fit well enough.
I didn't know if it was AI or just straight I. I don't know how to spell Japanese words.
Okay, here's all you need to know. In Japanese, all vowels never change their sound. Never. So, A's are ah, O's are oo, ah, e, u, e, o.
I barely remember how English vowels are pronounced.
Well, yes, because English vowels change all the fucking time. These never
English sucks.
I's are always e,
Hi.
E's are always eh. So, ah, e, u, e, o.
Ah, e, u, e, o.
And that's it. And then you just add letters in front of it.
God.
Cock. E.
Kakeku Keiko. Mamamuemo. There's only a few exceptions, like things like
yo.
Like she.
Sashi tsutetsu.
Yeah.
Tachi tsuteto.
Yeah.
I just got Japanese lesson.
Yeah, you did.
More important, I'm the guy whose name is Japanese.
We took Japanese. That's the only reason we know.
Yeah, like a second year Japanese.
This side of the table will be giving a lot of advice to that side.
That person.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I haven't quite finished yet. So we're in the Kansai region. Has its own league, it has its own stuff. It's its own Pokemon thing. Haven't really done all that kind of thinking out of it yet because I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that. Looks like it had a spill on it. Okay. It's fine. So that's the region you're in. You're not even technically in that region currently.
We're in international waters.
You're in international waters to avoid legal reasons. Because you may or may not participate in terrorist activities towards the Kansai region.
Yay, private islands!
Yeah, because you are a private organization working for literally anyone who can pay them. So, yes. Regardless, you've been here for a couple months. Your Pokemon were, you've seen them occasionally, kind of in, like, brief, here's a day to go play with your Pokemon kind of thing. But for the most part, you haven't seen them. And all they've been telling you is you'll get them after either you decide to leave or you pass the graduation ceremony, which happens to be today. So for the most part, your training up to this point had just been kind of solo training, personal, making sure that you can handle the bigger stuff of all this stuff and things. But that's about all you've been doing. And you got some time before it actually starts. Is there anything you guys want to do in the meantime?
The first move.
Do we know where the graduation ceremony is taking place?
Yes, you do. It's going to be held. I guess I should draw up a rough map just for the sake of everyone's sanity.
Actually, I should have brought the graph paper.
Probably, but it's not going to be that important. You're not going to be spending a lot of time through this session.
Good.
So, how am I going to write this up? Training yard.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Digimon!
Oh yeah, also, I sing a lot. I think Marcus sings a lot.
I sing a lot.
Brace yourselves.
Gotta catch 'em
Yeah, the
all.
brave brace yourselves to the copyright strikes we're gonna
Hey,
get.
less than 30 seconds.
If you're listening to this, Nintendo, we love you. Please don't sue us.
Please. Please. Living area.
If the people who make this RPG, and God bless you for making this, have not gotten sued yet, I don't think we will.
You got a name for those people?
I tried looking around, but the only person I could find was the Dr. Mr. Stark, who had made Pokemon Tabletop Adventures before this.
Okay. Well, thank you, whoever made this.
Yeah, if you people can come forward and say who you are, we will thank you.
We will thank you. If any money is ever made off of this, we might send some your way.
Might.
Depends on how.
Yeah, it depends on how much we make.
Yes, if we're only making enough to kind of cover expenses, probably not. But if we make like a little bit, we'll probably send them some because
If
they
I
definitely deserve it.
If I can quit my day job.
But that's all you do.
Yeah, I know.
If I can pay for my schooling. No, we'll never make that much money.
I don't know.
I can pay off my schooling bills.
Alaska does have the second cheapest college tuition costs in the country.
I'm still $200,000 in debt?
Oh,
Or is it $20,000?
probably
in debt?
20,000.
Probably going.
Still a lot.
Considering I have to pay.
We've also got a lot of poor people going to college, though. That's the problem.
Well, it's not that we have
Right
poor people going to college. It's that we have. Well, yes, we do
You're not
have.
going to college anymore.
Yeah, I had to drop out because I couldn't afford it.
Well, we do have poor people going to college. The other problem is that our state is in a budget crisis, and they keep raising
You couldn't
tuition
afford it
costs.
because you kept failing classes. You got free classes because your mother works there.
I got free tuition. There's a difference.
That's like 90% of the cost of college.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just hanging out with you, Ivan.
Main building.
Distance.
I don't feel like coming up with actual numbers. So
Go
you guys
the
are kind of
distance.
separated from the main area. There's a lot of other buildings and stuff, but you guys are kind of in like I would say fenced off.
About an inch.
Fenced off.
1
place.
inch equals 2 miles.
You have a big island. I guess the best way to put this is Phantom Pains. Known for Solid Phantom Pains, how you had that little kind of private thing.
Artificial island.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Yes. You know how big that thing is?
Yeah.
It's
Wait.
about that, but
When you start out or when you're done?
when you're done.
Oh, jeez.
Because it's
You
that
need
big.
a cart of travel around that.
And there's stuff, because like, there's not just the buildings. There is, the buildings and stairs pointed out, but there's still lots of forest and like some small mountainous regions on this. This is a pretty decent island. Everything we just said is important. Keep that in mind. And you guys are probably going to be here for the graduation ceremony.
So this is a living quarters?
Yes.
This is where we are right now.
Yes. Or wherever you guys feel like it. But as of right now, you guys do not currently have your Pokemon with you.
I think we need to scope out the graduation ceremony.
Okay.
Just get an idea of what's there. Is this area we have free reign, or are...
You're allowed to free roam in this area. You're not allowed to free roam elsewhere.
Okay.
You have, and also, like Marcus said, 2 miles wouldn't be a bad statement for me to say is the distance from the living area to the graduation ceremony area.
Graduation.
Graduation, yes. I have no, graduation ceremony.
I am shamelessly eavesdropping on anyone in an official uniform.
Shamelessly.
There is a lot of them.
I'm shamelessly eavesdropping on whoever looks.
Are you trying to hide it? Or are you just
It's
like,
like shamelessly.
I'm basically
there's a difference between shamelessly
I'm just
eavesdropping
setting
and
down
blatantly
wherever.
eavesdropping.
I'm just setting down wherever's close enough to hear them talk.
You see, that's
And then
different.
just
People
listen.
who can see him would know what he's doing. But there's a difference between shamelessly eavesdropping and just being apparently that you're eavesdropping. Because if I want to eavesdrop and be apparent about it, I will just walk up to the conversation and stand next to it.
just literally stick your head in between two of them and be like,
Just imagine
"Sup?"
that. They're having a real private conversation, all of a sudden,
I do that all the time. But I just gotta stand there. People will just look at me
hey, what's up? I just
for a
wanna
second
listen.
and then they continue because they don't think I'm paying attention.
It's like at the beginning
How
of
long
class
do we
where
have?
everyone else is talking. I'm sitting there quietly listening.
So like, yes. So I've seen that before.
Creepy.
There is some over here by the gates. There is some by the training yards, Make sure that nobody starts some shits. There's some guys in the back of the food area, restocking and shit. And there's basically 2 who aren't talking to anybody by the living quarters, make sure nothing bad happens.
How long do we have till the graduation ceremony?
I'm gonna say an hour.
I start jogging towards the.
Yeah, I'm heading over to the graduation.
Wait,
I'm gonna be...
Valid point. Time to start jogging.
Really?
They have
It's
miles
about
in an
2
hour?
miles
Guys,
is an inch.
Guys, they have vehicles to bring you over there before
What
it
kind of
starts.
vehicle?
It's a
Jeeps.
jet.
Kind of Jeep, like, lots
They
of,
just have a jet.
easy all-terrain vehicles that can carry a bunch of people. So like.
So it's
military
exactly like Solid Snake's
jeeps. A little bit.
artificial
Venom
island.
Snake.
Big boss.
Don't care. Continue.
I'm gonna eat because God knows when I'll be able to eat next.
You're in there. There's other people eating. You just get food and you sit down and just waiting.
Yeah, pretty
No
much.
plans.
No
Yeah.
plans.
Nom, nom, nom. You receive dropping?
Yep.
Where are you dropping in?
I've been through one too many formal ceremonies to know these things last forever.
Okay. These 2 aren't talking to anybody. They're like the 2 official guys. But there are some people in the living quarters talking.
Yeah, I'm maybe probably as close to the not trainee living quarters as I can.
Oh, we only have the training living quarters. They
Okay.
only station a few.
Just like
They only station a few actual people there just to make sure that nothing bad happens.
I'm just trying to find something to listen on. Maybe get some ideas what to expect out of graduation.
You said it's about 2 miles to the graduation?
It's about 2 miles.
Yeah.
You
I got
want,
an hour, I'll start jogging.
He's gonna be there before the vehicles.
odds are
That's hard to like jog.
Uh,
Overland speed 5.
You'd be surprised.
Actually,
Depending on
he
how-
has athletics novice.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay.
I have to walk 2 miles to work if I miss the bus.
Okay, I will
Or
remind
less than a mile. It
I'll
takes about
remind
30
you guys
minutes.
the fastest mile I ever ran was like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not that hard if you're trained in it, but you have to athletic novice.
Yeah, which is like,
That's about me.
Would you say about 15 minutes would be for somebody who's, they're not trained in,
Okay, if he is
Jogging?
if he is jogging, it would take him like half an hour, but he'd probably be winded.
for the 2 hours, the 2 mile thing.
Oh, for 2 miles, dude, it'd take him like 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay.
not 10 minutes. Like it'd take him like
An hour?
15 minutes to jog 2
Oh.
miles.
With no training in like athletics or that kind
So,
of stuff.
I have basic training.
Let me-
Novice
Yeah,
is
novice.
above.
Yeah,
No-
novice is above
Oh,
untrained.
yeah.
Oh, I always forget this.
Yeah, novice
Yeah,
is
listen
3.
to that.
Remember? Yeah.
Well, it's when it just writes novice. It's hard for me to remember that. When I looked at Erin, I remembered. It's 3. I remember the basic
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, novice is above untrained. It would take him 15
I have a
minutes.
1.
It would take. Yeah, it would take.
I'm just
No.
gonna get in a car.
Yes, it'll take you 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes if you don't want to be winded.
I'm doing 20 minutes. I know enough time. That'll
Yeah.
be me.
Due to the fact that the distance might not be exactly 2 miles, let's
Yeah.
call it 25.
25. Yeah.
Okay. You're just eating.
I'm getting in a car.
You're gonna wait because they're not bring you over now. They're gonna bring you over closer because it's gonna take them like 5-10 minutes to get there.
I wanted to see the distance between his house and Walgreens. Because if that is about a mile, that takes about 30 minutes to walk.
The Walgreens over by the Bentley.
Yeah.
That's about.
I would say it's a mile, like almost 2 miles.
It is almost 2 miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can totally walk that. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why I said it might not be exactly 2 miles, and I assume that your character is jogging.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll call it 25.
In total, it takes me 35 minutes.
That's for you to walk.
Yeah.
Jogging.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
takes
I'm
less
saying-
time.
I'm saying it's not exactly 2 miles. 2 miles is my guess estimation right now, and probably more. Once I draw up a map of the island, I'll be able to figure this all out later. So 25 minutes, considering he's trained and probably has some ways to speed things up along the way. What are you doing?
Yeah, you said they're not going to take me until.
Until it's much closer to the time.
Okay. Oh. Can I get a car over to the main building, or do I have to walk that?
We'd have to walk it because that's where the graduation ceremony is.
Oh.
Main building, graduation ceremony.
Okay.
I
I
just
didn't know
did
that.
this for the distance between here and here. There's a distance.
He's going the distance.
Okay. So what are you doing?
I am going to the training yard, I guess.
Okay. Gonna do what there?
What kind of machine, or what kind of training equipment is there?
Get
They got, like standard fighting, like dummies that you can practice on.
Laser team?
Yes, that one.
What is it used for?
That's for strike practice, because that's where people will attack you from.
You said that!
What?
On laser team!
Yes, because they seem really dumb. I've near the ones like the wooden dummies that have little parts sticking out of them that hold hits.
Yeah.
They're really stupid because they don't actually show you how this will actually affect the opponent.
The purpose of those is memorization.
Yeah,
It's to learn the moves by rote rather than actual. God, did I just use the word rote? To learn the moves by memorization rather than actually learn how to use them on people, because it's done for using strings of moves.
to me they're dumb. As someone who has more brawling experience than training experience, I realize these don't help you in a fight.
There's also more of a spiritual aspect to them.
I get you.
There's
There's those. There's treadmills. Standard workout equipment.
Get gains.
They have what would look like a Pokemon
Arena.
stuff that you've seen a few people use on their days with their Pokemon.
Wee 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 woo dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, there's that. There's just standard workout
I'll go to
equipment.
the treadmills.
Again,
Get my feet up.
so what are you doing? You're eavesdropping in the living quarters. Yep. You're hearing just a bunch of, trainers, not sure what's going on. Some are really excited to get their Pokemon back. There's a few people who don't think they got what it takes. They've been struggling this whole time. They're pretty sure they're going to fail whatever tests they're getting. They have no clue what they're doing. You listen to them for about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. 15, 20 minutes, not really getting what I was looking for, but it's just how I pass the night in this situation. So I'm gonna go.
These are where some higher up looking people are by the training yard. There's some back here stocking food and stuff.
I'm gonna go.
And there's two by the entrance gate. They're not stopping people from going anywhere, mostly because, the last couple
I'm
days.
gonna spend a couple of minutes over by the training yard, see if they have anything interesting in that.
Okay. About 20 minutes goes by and you kind of arrive at the ceremony. You see kind of like it's very cleared out.
Yeah, is this out in the open or is this indoors?
It's out in the open, right in front of the main building. You see like a podium's been set up and some speaker systems. I'm gonna check something because I'm not really.
Are people setting this up or Pokemon setting this up?
People in Pokemon, some people with some like Machamps moving like these big stereo systems around and stuff. Roll me and I think an intuition check would be a decent thing, right?
Or
seeing on like the situation.
Intuition would be just if I'm trying to, if there's something that is off or something important, but that's not
definitely. I definitely want you to roll an intuition check. And so, I have a year-old more familiar with the rules than I. He needs to roll. He's looking to get a certain number.
Yes, you set the DC in your mind, and he rolls however many D6s. What is this rank? So what do you recommend?
Intuition novice.
So that would be 3.
Okay. My first question is like easy, medium, hard. What are those DCs? Do you remember it all?
I believe it was like 5, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, I want to say. Well, think of it simply. If you're rolling 2d6, you are most likely to get a 7.
Uh-huh.
So if you're
that'd be 5.
So if you're rolling 3d6, you're most likely to get a 9 through 12.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh.
Sorry, that was a carrot.
Blue covered.
Yeah, that's the one with stuff in it.
Just give me a little cup out of that. Well, we don't need these anymore.
We apologize for taking them.
No problem.
Thank you. So, I think I'm going to go with what I said. Yeah. Roll them for me. Apologies. Hold on, re-roll that. Because I kind of hit your hand as you're trying to roll them. Okay. That's much better.
That's a 14. Those
Okay.
who are listening, you can't actually see my dice.
You see like when you see a standard setup crew for movie stuff, but you also notice some, like sciencey types with their Magnemites and Abras over at some like gray panels that are kind of lined up everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
God, nerds.
And that just seems out of place to you.
I'm just kind of trying to keep track of where the gray panels are. Just kind of watch from the ways. I know we still got time before the. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here. Just watch them set up. Keep an eye on what's happening until I see the rest of the field are getting closer, and then I'll find Steve.
So you're doing? I think I'll look around any deeper into that one. Gotta try to keep your distance because you think you might not.
These guys look like they're higher ranked than me, right?
Oh yes.
Okay, yeah.
All of them look way higher ranked than you.
Yeah, okay, I'm not
Because technically you have no rank right now. You're a trainee.
Yeah, they're all my superiors. I'm not gonna ask any questions. I'm just keeping an eye on it, just filing with. Okay, maybe something else will come up. You said they have Abras and Magnemites, right?
Yes.
So
Abras and Magnemites seem to be messing with
some gray panels.
Some panels in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. You said Abras and Magnemites, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me what you're thinking.
Begins.
Nope, it's not meta knowledge, it's a suspicion. But I will
please tell me what this suspicion is.
keep it to myself.
Okay, fine. You're gonna attempt to eavesdrop on anything they're saying because they're talking. They're just kind of sitting over there. But you have a feeling you probably shouldn't be here right now.
No, I'm just gonna keep a respectful distance and just kind of just look around. I'm just gonna watch them, try to get an idea of what this is, where I'm gonna want to sit for this ceremony.
You keep going. Okay. You have been dropping for, but it's about 20 minutes have gone by. For that, about another 15 goes by. And what do we got here? Trying to look for things. What does focus do?
Focus is all about sort of keeping going and concentration and your ability to handle pain and such.
I think concentration would definitely be a thing for here. The guys in the back are kind of being really trying to be quiet, and the training yard is very loud. So roll me a focus to see if you can make out what they're saying.
Ooh, that is low. That is a 5.
Yeah, but
The sounds of those machines and the people grunting
It's
are
just
kind
too
of
loud to concentrate. There's a
kind
lot
of
of background.
blaring out what they're saying.
Yeah, for some reason there's a whisper in the background.
Screaming! No. He's in the training yard, it's just very loud.
Since this amount of time has passed, and since I can't really pick it up,
Yeah.
I'm going to go head over to the trucks directly.
The trucks
10 minutes
have
before we
arrived, and anybody who wants to go over can, because it's, what, grand total of 35 minutes have gone by, so it's about, 25 before it starts, so it'll take about 10 minutes to get there.
And they gotta make sure that we're seated and that we're organized.
Use by the truck, right?
He was by the training booth.
I was doing treadmills.
It's a good workout.
So are we officially in the same team right now?
No, you guys have not been assigned
So we
any
don't
form
know
of
each
team
other,
yet.
so I have.
You might know each other.
So,
You've
yeah.
seen each other before. Because all of you have been at the same kind of
But I've
training.
seen all the other trainings before too, so.
Yes.
I'm scared. So I don't know that yet. So I'm just going to head over to the trucks.
Very androgynous man.
Terrifying orange eyes.
I didn't mean to do that.
It's canon. I don't care what you change it to. They're orange. I don't care. I'm sorry. After what happened before the recording, they have to say.
Gaze upon death! Gaze upon death!
God damn it. Apparently my character now has piercing orange eyes.
Yes. So, the trucks have arrived and they're going to go camp. You were busy eating.
Yep, now I'm not.
No, you're not. I'm going to go to the trucks.
Telling you guys, you're all gonna feel dumb for not eating before this. It's gonna be 4 hours into this, and you're.
I only give you sons of my enemies.
I'm not talking about the
No, I'm talking
about in character.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this thing's gonna be 4 hours long, and then by hour 3, you're gonna be like, oh god, why didn't I eat anything?
It always worries me when the team rolls for.
Well, there's 6 trucks pulled up.
Okay.
You get in the first truck, third truck, fifth truck. So they're not even in the same trucks. I'll be just rolling for that because I didn't assume you guys would try to sit together. So I was like, I'm gonna see if they sit, in the same trucks. They all get loaded up and you're being brought over. You're seeing that they're starting to wind down and kind of get everything set up.
Are these gray panels visible, or have they been?
They're semi-visible. They don't stick out.
Okay.
But there's one thing. I want you to roll me another intuition check.
Okay.
Only 8.
Okay. I'm not particularly happy. So it's more difficult than I'm not.
You're looking back towards the training camp, and you hear something go off behind you. Sounds like something happened. You're not quite sure what it was. You turn back around, and there's just now a bunch of scientists and stuff around where one of the great panels were.
Okay.
Wait, you didn't see anything happen?
No. Okay. Yeah. Start off. Okay. I'm gonna look for just a good place to sit. I'm gonna find an area near the edge of one of the seats, but
There
like
isn't
seats. Okay. So
There
it's
is
just standing
standing.
place. Okay.
You'll have to stand.
Oh God. Russian Orthodox.
Okay.
I have no recipe. He thinks he can do things. That's silly.
Well, yeah, it's unfair to assume that our characters would have to stand for a 4-hour graduation ceremony. I will not stand for this.
Dude, you thought this,
Sit
you
down.
thought, you thought this was a graduation ceremony?
No, I know it's
I
not.
said there was an exam.
It's a slaughterhouse. Oh God!
Okay.
Is it?
How much of the area is like clear for us to stand? Is it obvious where they're gonna want us, or is it?
Okay, since you've been around here for a while, this is the graduation area kind of thing. This is where they're kind of marked off for you to stand.
Mhm.
The great panels are kind of all around,
Mhm.
making all of you very nervous with the locations of these things.
I got reminded of Zerakin.
You got reminded of another campaign for a different thing.
Yeah, I'm the one.
Oh God!
Here, not quite
The
the
middle?
back. Into kind of just back, but a good distance away, but in one of the corners. Towards one of the corners where I'm gonna
Okay.
be.
So so if this is the front,
You don't have the front. Yeah. Then
You
I'm
wanna be
probably
back
gonna
here?
back here.
so like right there,
A little to one side.
so like there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You kind of gotten around there. You guys all kind of arrive about 5 minutes before it actually starts. 5-10 minutes, and you kind of go. You get directed to where you should, about where you should stand. Not a whole lot happens. It's finally time.
I'm gonna stand up here.
So you're gonna be up here,
Yeah, right.
middle,
Yeah,
right, left.
right, pretty much. Like where I can get here. That's what's going on right here without having to swing.
Are they directing us to specific spots? Or
No, they're directing you like you need to be in kind of this area.
Okay.
So
I
can we
go.
see the road house when we come in, or there's scouts in there?
You don't look for them because you don't know they're there.
Yeah, we're just walking through and not even really paying attention.
Are we a ridge thing?
Nope.
Okay. I guess I go to the leftmost spot of where I'm going this
Leftmost.
I don't know where I
Front,
was
back?
directed.
They just directed you into this
Oh,
kind of
okay.
squared
I
off area.
guess
That's
Right.
as Korovin has
on
seen
the
it
red
surrounded.
line.
So about
As far left as I possibly
mid
can.
upper left. You can say that.
Back edge towards the exit so I don't get trampled when I leave.
There is no
There's an
exit.
exit. This is
This is
outdoors.
outside.
In
I-
front of
the
the
exit
building.
is around
Open.
you.
Fine, on the edge then. I didn't know
Of
if
glory?
I didn't know if it was like an open stadium.
It's Pokemon Stadium.
What edge, Ivan? There's 4.
You want the front edge, one of the side edges, or the back.
So just
Someone passed me a D4.
Everyone's using my type.
Not me.
3.
Bottom edge.
Right or middle?
Middle.
Now, how many people are in this fitness area?
Fitness area. Fit in this area? Is that what you said? I think
Yeah.
you said fitness area.
That's what
Fit
I
in this
said.
area, like how, I assume we're lining up in rows. Just
Kind of.
or at
It's
least
just a
something.
pile of
It's
people.
more or less of, kind of a. They didn't exactly line you up in rows. It's kind of how you guys want to do it, but you guys kind of assume rows because, it's easier for you all to stand like that.
Yeah.
Who's shaking the table?
Probably Erin, because he has his foot on it and shaking it.
Shake the couch, not the table.
If we hear squeaking, we know
Just put it
someone's
on my
having
chair
sex.
if you want. That's fine.
That couch doesn't squeak.
I would say it fits about, there's about 1,000 of you recruits, and it fits about all of you just fine. There's still some space
That's a
left.
lot of people.
So 1,500.
There's a lot of
max.
recruits.
Expecting dropouts.
They expected
true.
dropouts. There were dropouts. About, maybe 200 have already dropped out. They're expecting maybe
And some are going to die!
all of us. You're all going to die anyway.
So bad news is you're going back.
Yeah, so I'm about a row in from the back and a couple over from the corner, but there's only a couple.
Okay, so you're so close to the front, but you're
I'll tell you what, I'm not.
you're close to the back.
I'm close to the back, but I'm not the exact one. Like, I'm not the last person. I'm just.
You are.
But there's only like one row.
Okay.
So he's a little further back.
Kind
It's
of.
also not a win.
No, that's Ivan. That's you. That's Erin, and this is
Sparta?
he's okay, got it. I think I did that right.
You do everything right.
Regardless, yes, there were lots of dropouts from this thing. The training wasn't super hard, but it wasn't easy either. You of you with a lower body scores were having some issues with stuff. And also use those with a low mind score were having issues with some of the more tactical things they were trying to ingrain in you.
That would be brilliant for the microphone.
They had mentioned the importance of team building and working well with your team, though they never let you see your Pokemon really, and you never really were put up in groups with anybody. That seems kind of strange and odd, but the ceremony is beginning. There's kind of that, gentle music and stuff. Kind of cue you in and say, you guys don't need to shut the fuck up and pay attention.
I'm trying to blend in.
You're trying to be quiet and hidden in the back. Yes, you do that very well. No one's looking for you anyways.
I'm trying to keep as much
I'm not very
space as possible between the next two because my guys are a little uncomfortable with crowds.
That's why you're in the front. So you have to see as little people as possible.
Yep.
Makes sense. Ivan's character's having a fucking field day with all the people thinking.
I can't do it with people, I can only do it with Pokemon.
You're having a field day with all the Pokemon around.
Yeah. And I actually have to act.
Champions.
But yeah.
Careless, or just like as an environment, is this like just a grassy area? Is this like cleared out? Because
the area you were standing in has been cleared out.
Okay.
The area kind of entirely in front of the main building
I
is
do have a
mostly,
couple things
cleared out
there.
dirt
I
stuff.
do have a couple of things that are based around like
Location, I know. You're like mountain.
Yep.
Stuff.
The lumberjack and I both get work
Yes.
all night and I sleep all day.
Regardless. The ceremony is starting. And the music is playing, so you should look up and pay attention.
Are those the exact words?
No.
Shut the fuck up and pay attention.
There's no word being spoken. It is music cueing you that the
Okay.
ceremonies begin and you need to shut the fuck up and pay attention. What they
Just
do at
imagine.
graduation ceremonies.
One of the officials is like, do a little. Shut the fuck up and pay attention.
There's a good draw for you guys who seem to like things. It's a main stage kind of in front of the building, podium.
Well, yeah, for some reason we like maps that help visualize what we're on.
But half the time in the D&D campaign I run with Marcus and the other guys, I don't have to draw out maps. Everybody else seems to kind of get
Company of Pepsi.
That's not entirely true.
Visualization works fine.
Yeah, I heard some stuff.
The worst thing
Easier
that has
to
ever
draw
happened to me
blank
This
for
isn't
not
going to
having
be
a
used
map
that much.
is that instead of digging my way into a cavern, I spent the next 3 days digging at it from the side.
Okay, good point. But there's a podium and there's some chairs set up and some people are sitting at.
Sir, if you need it.
But a man walks up from coming down from the main building up to the podium. It's kind of got this, like, soft gray color. Would it be the color I define his hair as?
Does he have a goatee?
No,
Okay. How glorious is his hat?
he didn't have a hat.
Really?
God,
Really?
It's kind of wearing.
these are valid questions. How glorious is this coat?
It is a cool coat, but it's not glorious. You know that it's in a kind of like a nice, like say it.
Is it your coat?
No, it's a very dapper coat.
Okay, it's more practical than it is ostentatious.
The closest thing, you've seen Ruby, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Austin's coat.
Okay.
Great coat.
I'll pretend I remember who that is.
He's the guy with time powers.
Oh, that guy.
Yes, that guy. You know, he's got, also. Austin's a big draw for this character. Smaller glasses. Personality's not the same, but.
You are all here because you're failures. Get out of our building now, or we will have all our Pokemon shoot you with machine guns.
No. No. He's walking down and you notice kind of like it confuses you because it kind of looks like a Caterpie, but it's red. And it's kind of got ridges running through it and seems to crackle with energy. It's very strange for you.
Huh. Was it like a shiny
Delta
wormhole? Yeah.
No.
Because when you said red Caterpie, I immediately thought it looks kind of like a Wumble.
No, it's still got that.
Anyone have Pokemon education?
I do actually. I have novice poke education. Can I roll it?
Sure, go ahead.
Pass me 3 dice.
I'm untrained. I'm not gonna try.
I also have a 3 Pokemon education.
A 9.
You can tell that this is definitely a Caterpie, but there's something different about it. You just can't place your finger on it.
Okay.
You're like, it's something super obvious.
How far away from it is me? How far away from me is it?
You're in the back, as far as it humanly can be.
Okay, can't see the core book.
Cool.
And so we passed the master
Four?
binder.
So we passed the binder
Yes.
that's way too big because we managed to find a way to print off all this fucking book. How many pages is it? Like,
How many
1,000?
trees did we kill?
No, this one? No, this is only like 500.
Okay.
The Pokedex is like 800.
Pokedex. Much?
Yes, we have a physical copy of the Pokedex here. It is 800 pages.
And multiple digital versions.
Yep. I wanted to get a physical copy. That's what Ivan got me instead of my birthday present.
At least I thought of using that
Friendship.
as an excuse.
So, is he going to copy?
Yes. As soon as I figure out why Ivan needs to look at the Pokedex.
Keep going.
Okay.
745 pages according to the index on the Pokedex.
Okay.
Unnecessary information.
He kind of gets up to the podium. Welcome all starling recruits. You've been trained, tested, and you've done fairly well. But I understand many of you have questions. And so I will proceed to go over them right now. One, you asked, why don't we have our Pokemon? Well, that's for security purposes. We've noticed that some trainees, when being trained, get kind of aggressive. We don't need them unleashing their Pokemon onto, unarmed combatants and buildings and many other things. So during the training process, we will leave them from you. At any time you feel like quitting, we are giving back to you. Or once you graduate this, we give them to you. But even when you graduate, there is a limitation. Due to, again, security purposes. As new grunts, you are only allowed a maximum of 2 Pokemon at any time for security purposes. As you can see, security purposes are going to be a thing that we're going to be going over a lot today.
Now, if you would open your guidebooks to section 303. What? God, how is that formatted? Never mind. Sorry. They just released a new DOT spec book, and I've been having to go through it and get updated on the new specs. And good God, engineers, please take English classes so you can learn how to write something entertainingly.
Fun. And as you progress in the ranks, you will be allowed more Pokemon as time goes on. But even at our higher ups, you're only allowed a maximum of 4. Once you get to the top rankings, such as the Reggies here, that is their unofficial naming for so far, you may be permitted 5 or 6. But as we know, in the field, things happen, and bonds are made. So that any newly acquired Pokemon you may keep, and even on fields you may have around, but they are not allowed to be used for combat purposes. For a sign of combat purposes, they will be taken from you. So you may acquire new Pokemon as time goes on, but they are not allowed to be used. And no, you may not switch them out as you're choosing for, again, security purposes. But while you were being trained, so were your Pokemon. They were being taught how to properly work together and not, viciously attack each other.
All of a sudden, just in like the middle of the crowd, someone cold clocks someone else. Stop stealing my shit!
No. Those two left a long time ago.
Yeah.
Under mysterious circumstances.
Well, they died of natural causes because a dagger in the chest does naturally kill someone.
Wow, that is an old reference.
No, Ivan, they died of natural causes. No,
Let me
like
guess.
claws.
Let me guess. The Steel executive's name is Claus.
Is it
No.
Santa?
You haven't been introduced to them, though. They are sitting up there. If any of you take a look, I can briefly describe them as much as that is going to happen. There's 4 people sitting up there.
They're sitting or standing?
There's 4 people sitting behind the podium. There's a 5th man standing in the center.
The 5th one is
The person
the
directing.
Hospin
Yes.
Bob.
It's not Oscar Rudolph so much as he was very authoritative without being, cruel or violent, and that's why I chose it. Because you respect Ozpin, but you don't go, I'd be very afraid to meet this man. You go, I'd be very afraid to fight this man. Who are you looking at?
I will look at the one to the far left.
The one on the far left is a woman, light blue hair, very quiet demeanor. But though there's a brief second where you two connect eyes and you were terrified.
I don't know if that picked up on the mic. Gulp.
Gulp, gulp, fuck. But yes. He continues his speech. But as we are here today for your graduation ceremony, we're going to be putting you in teams. The teams have been decided based on how well you worked, and it's meant to balance you out. You will be given team names fitting for how you form together.
Oh God.
Just come to a realization. I want those panels.
Yeah, did you guys just figure it out?
Next is Eru Auscher, Katsuo Hisakawa, Nathan Sawyer, Nestor Reynolds as Team EKNNS.
Why do we have to get why couldn't we get a cool Pokemon
Because you guys didn't have any good. It's the only Pokemon you guys had available for you.
Yeah.
An E, a K, and 2 N's. I had no other options.
There, yeah.
Yep.
It's like
Arcanine.
I'm trying to.
Arcanine doesn't have an E for the beginning.
I'm just
A.
trying to figure out who else I can think.
That would have worked. That would have worked wonderfully. Except your name is Eru and not Eru.
Eru.
God, you should change your name.
You could have been Arcanine. That would have worked just well. Wish you were Team EKNNS. Which, oddly, what state fits? Woodsman, you know,
With poison.
poison specialist, dark specialist, channeler.
That's true.
Ekans is a very apt Pokemon for this team.
Yep.
Surprisingly.
Like, I'm just looking around trying to see if I know any of these people that I've been teamed up with. If I can even see any of them.
You can't even see any of them. You guys are all so far spread out.
Yep.
Except for
They
it's
can
us
see
too.
each other.
I want to say it's Ivan and you. No, Ivan and
Hey, no, he's in the front, right?
I'm in the back.
Oh,
the back.
who's in the front?
Me.
Okay, so it's you and I can see
can't
you.
Even see, you can't even see it. There's a crowd in between you two.
Oh,
There's like
okay.
maybe
So it's
4 or 6
you
rows.
two.
You two can see each other as you're right next to each other.
Hey!
That's not actually what your
That's
character
quiet,
does. I know
not.
your character.
Maybe. Maybe not
I
so
just
loud.
imagine him leaning.
Maybe he doesn't do it so loudly.
He proceeds to list off about 20 other teams, and everyone kind of, you know, forms up in ranks. You have now been assigned your teams. You will be teamed with one for your entire stay here. Should any of you die or leave during any of your time working for the corporation, you will be assigned a new team member. We work in teams of 4 because, just like with the Reggies, there is the leader and his 3 subordinates to help him craft, create, and control the world.
I feel like they put too much effort into this.
I literally came up with this on the spot. Shut the fuck up.
No.
It
It's,
seems public.
yeah, this. Yeah.
Not too familiar to what?
Go on.
You will all be guided to a location, and then you'll be sent on your exam. You all kind of come together.
Right now.
Yes. Oh no, you get directed, because you're all being directed to what you recognize is a panel. You all come together, and they all, and you know, one of the supervisors comes up holding 4 bags, straps it to each of you. He goes, and walks you up to a panel,
God.
and he goes, when you get scared, pull the cord.
What?
Oh
Some
boy.
of you guys are
Yeah, no, like
suddenly everything
As soon as he said
down.
that.
Yeah, no. Right as he says that, as we start,
I
and
breathe
as
in
we,
and
and
slap.
as it happens, you just hear Nestor shout, "Motherfucker!"
And no, you hear mother
Yeah.
as your mouth slams shut with the G-forces that are being put through as you're launched into the air.
Oh, that's not quite what I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to be teleported.
No, you're
No.
being launched.
Yep.
So it's basically Rudy.
You're getting promoted and you're getting launched to what looks like a forested
Yep.
area and the things. But as you hit like the high part of your arc, you kind of get like bubbled and slowed down a little bit. But you're not slowing down to the point that
That we don't need the parachutes.
yes, you're being slowed down to the point that you guys aren't that you can move your arms now.
I pull the cord.
Pull the cord.
I'm gonna wait a little longer.
Please let this work.
Was it at like 2,000 feet need to pull the cord out?
Yeah. Your arc ends at like 2,500, so
And you're supposed to count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then pull the cord. But
Yeah.
whatever.
When you get scared, pull the cord.
That
When you
Yeah,
get
mid
scared-
launch, you get scared, pull the cord.
No, mid launch, your arms are currently like
Oh God!
forced to your body. That's the point. Is when you get
We are
scared,
missiles.
pull the cord.
If I were in that situation, I'd pull the cord as soon as he says that.
I
You
am
get scared,
already
pull the
scared.
No! Shit!
You get scared, pull the cord. And it's just I came up with that line. I was like,
we
this
are
is perfect.
sailing through the air and parachutes are being deployed.
You want to call it for a break?
Yeah, how about we'll wrap it up right here. We'll wrap this episode up right here. Hopefully this has gone well for you guys and you've had as much fun listening to this as we have had playing it. And we hope to see you next week when we release the next episode. Thank you.